Welcome to this XLSTAT short video on how to get started with XLSTAT. This video will first give you an introduction to XLSTAT products and solutions. Then it will show you the XLSTAT benefits. After the benefits, we will see how to work with XLSTAT, and finally see a demonstration of XLSTAT before getting a conclusion. Let's start with XLSTAT products and solutions. XLSTAT is a Microsoft Excel add-in. Microsoft Excel spreadsheet is the most widely used worldwide. It detains 90% of the market share. Also, Excel is the main format for data storage. XLSTAT is a statistical software that offers the best integration within Excel. XLSTAT is also the most comprehensive statistical software for Excel. XLSTAT is a modular product. The core product of XLSTAT is Pro. It helps you to prepare, describe, visualize, test, and analyze all data types. Then we have other modules. ADA for Advanced Analytical Solutions, Life for the medical sector, SPC for quality control, Power to test the performance of your experiment and determine sample size, MX for sensory and market research, Dose for dose analysis in the chemical and pharmaceutical industries, PLS-PM for partial least square path modeling, SIM to make simulation like Monte Carlo, 3D plot to get enhanced plotting options, PLS to make a regression dealing with collinearity, Pivot to create pivot tables, Time for time series and spectral information. Now let's see more detail on XLSTAT Pro. XLSTAT Pro prepare your data. You can transform the data to suit your analytical purposes. You can recode, make a sampling, or transform the data. XLSTAT Pro helps you to describe the data. You can get a visualization of the distribution, get descriptive statistic, histogram, and normality tests. You can also visualize the data and plot the data with different plotting options. And finally, you can analyze, model, and test the data. When you analyze the data, you can get insight into the data structure with factor analysis, principal component analysis, discriminant analysis, or clustering. When you model the data, you can use regression, classification, analysis of variance, or analysis of covariance. And then you can test hypotheses on the data, like association, correlation, parametric and non-parametric tests. XLSTAT offers also some solutions. Each solution contains several modules. For example, XLSTAT Sensory contains Pro, ADA, MX, and 3D plot. XLSTAT Medical contains Pro, Life, Dose, and PLS. XLSTAT Six Sigma contains Pro, SPC, Power, and SIM. And XLSTAT Predict contains Pro, SIM, Time, Pivot, PLS, and 3D plot. Now let's see the XLSTAT benefits. The first one is the accessibility. XLSTAT is compatible with all the Microsoft Excel versions that are used nowadays, starting from Excel 97 up to Excel 2010. Also, the interface is available in 9 languages: English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Polish, Portuguese, Spanish, and traditional Chinese. XLSTAT helps you to save time. You can use your data directly in Microsoft Excel, an environment that you already know. And you don't need to lose time in learning a new interface. Then you can share your results very easily. The plots are easily customizable, and they are compatible with all the other Microsoft Office products. So you can integrate a plot that you made in XLSTAT into your PowerPoint presentation or your Word documents. Finally, you can send your result in Microsoft Excel to anyone, and there is no need to make a full report, because the data are already organized. Finally, you can create your own analytical solution. XLSTAT is a modular product, so you can buy only the options that you need. In addition, XLSTAT function and code are available to create your own analytical solution in Microsoft Excel. So you can get your VBA code that communicate with XLSTAT VBA code and XLSTAT C++ng. And what you will see is only the data in Excel and the result display as well in Excel. Now let's see how to work with XLSTAT. Let's focus on the selection of data. The data are selected with the mouse. And there is a possibility of memorizing selection from one session to the other. Depending on the Excel version that you will have different way of launching a function. If you have XLSTAT 2007 and 2010, launching the function will be done from a menu. If you have Excel 2003 or older, launching a function will be done from a toolbar. When you launch a function, you will get a dialog box, like this one. And the first thing you will have to do is to select the data. So you can select the data directly from the worksheet. Then you get access to different tabs that provide you with different options. And finally, you can choose between three ways of displaying the output. Either it will be displayed in a range, or in a new sheet, or in a new workbook. Now let's see a demonstration of XLSTAT. When you are in Excel and you want to open XLSTAT, you need to go to Add-ins. And here you can click on the icon of XLSTAT and it will launch the product. You will get a custom toolbars that you can use, or you can go in the XLSTAT tab just after Add-ins and use the menu that you have here. So here we have data about the population on the United States of America, the 1st of July 2001. So now we are going to look at the different menu of Pro. So the first one is preparing the data. So you have some data sampling options, then you can transform the variable, and then you can modify the data. So what I can do here is that I'm going to rank my data on the population. So I select the data by clicking here and then on the column I want to use. So here is the total population estimated. So I click on this column here. I have a column label, it is this cell, and then I can, if I want, add some observation labels. So here I will just select the column A. Then I can decide if I want the data to be in a range, a new sheet, or a new workbook. So here I will place them just next to my data, here. I don't want to display the report header, so I just leave it like that. And I click on OK. Here continue. And I get two new columns, the observations and then my ranking. So if I want to see which one is the first, the state that has the lowest population is Wyoming. Now I can go to the second menu, describing data. I get the descriptive statistic, quantile estimation, histograms, normality test, resample statistic, similarity-dissimilarity matrices, multicollinearity statistics, and contingency table. So what I will do now is descriptive statistics. Again, I get a dialog box and I have to fit the data. So here I'm going to work with quantitative data, so I leave this option selected. And then I select the data. So I can take the net domestic migration, and I have samples label because they are there. And then I can go to the option and leave everything as a default option. Chart, I just want to get the box plot. So I click on OK, and I will get my result in the new sheet. And what I get is a box plot where I have the average. Here I have the median, the first and the third quartiles, and then I have the minimum And here I can see that the maximum is actually an outlier because it is bigger than what is expected. So let's go back to the third menu where I can visualize the data. Here I have a lot of plots. So for example here I can do an histograms and I can select the third column here. The data type is continuous, so I will leave that here. I don't have any subsamples, which would be any groupings. If you had a category variable, it would be useful. And I will also get the result in a new sheet. Here I need to set the intervals. So I will take a number and maybe I will put 20 bars. Then missing data, I have nothing to do. Outputs and charts. Charts, I will only get the histograms as bar and as frequency. If I click on OK, I will get the result in a new table. So here I have my histogram as frequency. That is like that. I can clearly see that it doesn't look like the normal distribution. Then I can go back again to the data and go to the next menu, which is Analyze Data. Here I'm not going to show you an example, but just show you all the options that we have. So we start with factor analysis, then principal component analysis, then discriminant analysis, correspondence analysis, multiple correspondent analysis, multidimensional scaling, and then some clustering options like k-means, agglomerative hierarchical clustering, and univariate clustering. Then we have model the data, so we can fit a distribution. We have linear regression, analysis of variance, analysis of covariance, repeated measures ANOVA, mixed models, logistic regression, non-parametric regression, nonlinear regression, then classification and regression trees. The PLS regression is in the PLS module. Then we have the test, so correlation tests, parametric tests, and non-parametric methods. And finally, the last product that we have in Pro is tools. And I can maybe show you one of those tools. So let's see the data flagger. Here I'm going to select the data, for example the population, so I select again the column B, and maybe I want to flag data that are in an interval. So here I have selected 50,000 and 10 millions. And if any data is outside this interval, I want it to be flagged. And I want it to be size 12 with a color that is pink and maybe has a gray background. So now I can just click on OK, and I can see that some data has been flagged. So it's very simple. There are a lot of other tools that help you to manage the data, the sheets, and the display of the menu. Also, you can export any plot into GIF, JPEG, PNG, and TIFF. It's time now for conclusions. In conclusion, XLSTAT is easy to masterize as it works within Excel Microsoft. It's a customizable product that can adapt to every business need in your organization. It's also a product that can be integrated into your applications. If you have any questions, please contact us at info@xlstat.com.